Okay, in another video, I was showing you some of these big 3D printed parts I printed out for the G36. Now, I've come across this several times already with my printer. I don't really verify measurements of these different parts because, I just hope that they're going to end up fitting. And then I know if they don't, I'll find a different way to use them. So this extended barrel system that was going to go on the G36 definitely did not fit this model G36, and it did not fit the Splatrball model. However, I did find if I flipped it upside down, did some quick modifications, I could get it to fit my M4a1. So that's what we did here. I took that piece, right? So this was all a couple pieces. So you got this nice long barrel here, this tip, right? You can see the barrel inside there. And I was able to go ahead and mount it to this. And it actually fits tight enough that I probably didn't need to, but I put a screw in, kind of one screw down into the top rail right there. And then this little rail riser kind of covers it up. I thought I might get lucky and be able to find the perfect height rail riser that would line up with this rail. And then you could just put some sort of attachment on there. But it was off slightly. And that's okay. I still like how it turned out. I really like it. I think it looks really cool. And I was definitely glad I was able to use this piece because if you remember, I told you this took 2 days basically to print from here all the way to here, and it's in multiple pieces. Now, this is a different rail style grip, so that can go on other blasters too. Just went ahead and made it for this because it was one I didn't have yet, so I thought it would look cool on this gun. So that's what we got here, M4a1. This one I already had that skull magwell, I guess, decoration essentially, and that just pops off and on. And again, it doesn't fit this perfect, but this is the only one that fits too. So just learning a lot as I do these 3D printing. And again, you still have to be ready, I think, to be able to customize a lot of stuff kind of manually. So this one I already had done some more primitive modifications a while ago to the stock so that it could accept a large battery. So I just figured for now I'd use that, able to put an 11.1 volt battery here in the battery box. So that's not, as pretty as I would like it to be, but for now I thought it was just fine. I was more focusing on getting that to all fit together. So with the G36, what I did instead is, again, I was able to put a new barrel on. That's the same barrel you've seen on the Splatrball version, just a different color. Same situation here. The plastic, there's a metal barrel inside here, and then there's a plastic ring around it. Then there was an attachment that came off, no problem. But then that plastic ring around that metal barrel had to be cut off, and it took quite a bit of time and effort, more than it should, so that these pieces can fit on there nicely. And then what I did here is I had this battery box, right, that has an 11.1 volt, and it's got a rail on the bottom. So since I already had a rail along the bottom here, that's something different. The Splatrball does not have a rail there. Slid that on there. I did drill one hole in the battery door, and then you can have a grip on the underside because this battery box has a rail on the bottom. So when it comes to Splatrball, there is an STL print file for a battery door that has a rail built into it. So you can go ahead and print that off, and then you'd be able to print off a battery box like this, and it would attach directly to it. And you could just keep your original battery door. You wouldn't have to modify it at all. You could just put a small hole in your printed battery door, and that way you would could do something similar to what I did here. And of course, I've shown you how to make those barrels fit on the Splatrball version too. So just some cool modifications. Again, got to kind of always be a little creative. Things don't necessarily fit how they're supposed to. And again, there's a lot of different models of G36s out there. There's even different models, M4a1s. Those are a little more consistent when you find pieces that say they fit M4a1. But then if you start mixing between airsoft models and gel blaster models, they definitely don't always match up. So you just kind of got to be ready to, go ahead and modify them as you may need to. So I'll do some videos later shooting these, but I thought you'd like to see it because I showed you